Good morning. This is Miss Ann. I'm a little late. Oh, did you just see that fly by? There are flies in our house. I don't know where they're coming from. So, today, based on a request by one of the teachers, Miss Pagan, we are going to learn how to draw a house. So, there's so many different types of houses. Let's spell out house. House. A house is where generally people live, and there's all different types of houses. Let's think. There are, in the area that the school's at, there's a lot of row houses. Look at that R, so it's a row house. And a row house shares walls. So let's just draw. Let's do a real quick little drawing of a row house. So this is the street, and then you got the sidewalk, and then you would have like one house. There's one house, and it shares a wall with this house. And this house shares a wall with this house, and this house shares a wall with this house. They're all individual. You know, each one has their own front door, their own windows. Some of them have roofs, like that. Or some of them have flat roofs, like tar roofs. So the top of that's going to drive me crazy. That fly just flew by. And then they all have front doors. Some of them, I'm just trying to think of the houses that I walk by when I park my car. Some of them have stoops, which means they have little steps that go upstairs up to the front door. And some of them, the front door is just straight through. So these are row houses. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 row houses right here. So that's one row house. Let's think about this. What other kind of houses are there? There's houses called ranch houses. R-A-N-C-H. H-O-U-S. So, H-O-U-S-E. A ranch house, when I was growing up, I thought ranch houses meant that you lived on a ranch, that you had cattle and horses. And then when people said they lived in a ranch house and they lived in my neighborhood, I thought, but you don't have cows and you don't have horses. But the description of a ranch house, it's one floor. So the row houses probably have, there's probably a floor here. This is first, second, maybe they may have 3 floors. I'm not sure. I lived in a row house when I lived in Wilmington, and that only had 2 floors. But a lot of row houses have 3 floors. A ranch house it only has 1 floor and probably a basement. So a ranch house, let's put the street. Here's the street. And then it's got some grass. Then it's got, remember it's 1 floor, so we're just gonna make like a rectangle would be a good. Usually ranch houses have garages. Garages, you know what a garage is? A garage is where you keep your car. And then it has a roof, and they're usually like this. Roofs are generally slanted, so the rain comes off the roof. And then, you know, there's a front door. And there's lots of different styles of ranches. This is just in my head. And then sometimes there's big picture windows. Like you can, but everything is all on 1 floor. So a lot of people like ranch houses because they don't have to climb stairs. Oh, I see that fly. All right, I've got this thing right here. Watch it. Oh, I did not get it, but now it knows that I'm going to be chasing it. Whew. Okay, so that's a row house, ranch house. Okay, and look, they both start with R. That's so strange. Okay, let's see what other kind of houses are there. There's colonials. I've always lived in, it just flew by me. It's going to drive me crazy. I've always grown up, every house that I've ever lived in. Oh, I got it. I feel bad, but it's life. We'll get over it. Okay. Did I stun it? Oh, it's dead. Okay. Miss Ann, the fly killer. Every house I've ever had ever was a colonial. I grew up in colonials, and colonial just means it's usually 2 stories. So let's draw, okay, how do we spell colonial? Colonial. Okay, so that's a colonial house. And they're usually, let's put the street here, and we'll put some grass. And they're usually square shape, or just for simple reasons, we'll make it square shape. Okay, that's not square shape. And I'm also going into the other house. So we'll make part of this the roof. The roof. Depending on where you're from, you call it different things. Okay. And there's usually a front door. There's usually stoops that go to the front door. There's a front door. And there's usually, windows. This is not a very good drawing. And then upstairs are all the bedrooms. So, and there's usually 3 bedrooms, generally. Sometimes there's more. My house has 3 bedrooms, so that I live in now. And I live in a colonial. Although my house is a Dutch colonial, which means the roof is, looks like a barn. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our house, and you're going to make your house. If you live in a row house, you're going to make a row house. If you live in a ranch, you're going to make a ranch. So what we're going to use, though, and hopefully you have it at home, is we're going to use a shoebox. And everybody has shoeboxes around. So ask your mom or your dad or your brother or sister who's ever taken care of your grandma if you have an extra shoebox that you can use, that you won't be able to put shoes in after we make this. So why don't we go do that? And I just got a new pair of shoes because my shoes had holes in them. And I got a pair of Sperry shoes. And I took the lid off. So all I have is a nice size, I'll make sure you can see this. It's a nice size rectangle. It's a nice box. This is a really nice box. I'm really excited about it. Okay? So, if you were a ranch, not if you were a ranch, if you lived in a ranch, your house would probably be like this shape, because this looks like it's 1 floor. If you were a row house, or if you lived in a row house, your house would be this way. So this would be the 1st floor, and the roof would be up here. If you live in a colonial, your house could be this shape, or it could be this shape. This is probably the shape of my house. Maybe my house isn't as long, but we're going to make it look like it is. Okay? So let's all get a shoebox. And if you don't have a shoebox, you could just use paper. And we can just do this with paper. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to cover this with paper. So I have this paper that I've been using. It's just copy paper. But you could use any kind of paper that you have. You could actually... what do I do with all the paper? Oh, here's the paper sitting on it. I'll leave this there. I've got some paper that my sister gave me, and I'm going to use it to cover this. Because then I'm going to color, I'm going to draw the house on the box. So I'm going to cover Sperry and all that. So I have to cover 3 sides. I had to cover this side, and this side. Now, if you're doing a ranch, you only have to cover, you have to cover this side and this side. You don't have to cover the top because the top is going to be the roof. Well, I don't know what to think about that. Okay, so I'm going to cover this. I'm just going to use white paper. And I'm going to use, look what I found, glue stick. I found it in a drawer. I don't know how old it is. I haven't bought a glue stick for my own house since my son was probably in grade school, and he's 27 now. So I don't know. Then, or if you have tape. If you have tape, you could also tape it, but I don't have any tape. So I have tape that I use for my artwork, but I don't want to use it because it's not really for projects like this. So I'm going to, ooh, this looks fresh. I don't have any idea where I got this from. I'm going